Ancient societies conceived ritual performances of sacred chants and music at auspicious times, establishing communications with the higher powers, bringing healing on environmental, social, and personal levels. The Drepung Losling monks are renowned for their multiphonic chanting, known as Zokai. The Tibetans are the only culture that cultivates this extraordinary vocal ability, overtone singing, accomplished by learning to control the muscles of the vocal cavity and reshaping it while singing to make it accord with the natural overtones of the voice. Chanting is the traditional means of preparing the mind for meditation, lifting the spirit to elevated levels of continuousness, and a method of cultivating mindfulness. The chant can be a mantra, a short sequence of words or syllables, often chanted repetitively and thought to have transformative powers. Drawing the design on the base or tekpu, the monks construct architectural lines. Straight, curved and circular, using compass, edged ruler, white pencil. Revealing a balanced geometric cosmogram. An intricate focus of meditation. Designed to guide those who aspire to enlightenment by purifying and healing their minds transforming them from an ordinary mind into an enlightened mind. A mandala offering in Tibetan Buddhism is a symbolic offering of the entire universe. Every intricate detail of these mandalas is fixed in tradition and has specific symbolic meanings. In Sanskrit, it means circle, a complex abstract design that is usually circular in form. A tiny grain of sand may seem insignificant, yet placed carefully and consciously can become a work of art. The tradition of Tibetan Buddhist mandala art has been preserved over the past 2,500 years in an unbroken transmission from master to disciple. Historically, the sand mandala was created with granules of crushed colored stones. In modern times, plain white stones are ground down and dyed with inks to achieve the same effect. The monks use a special, extremely dense sand in order to limit any interference. The sand granules are applied using small tubes, funnels, and scrapers called chakpur. Carefully controlled by the vibrations and rhythmic sounds, mystifying detailed patterns emerge. The colored sand is applied to the mandala through the end of a metal funnel, rasped with another in order to release a fine stream of sand. The hollow ringing sound is the sound of emptiness, the absence of self-existable independence. Just as there is no sound with one funnel alone, there is nothing that exists on its own. Because of interdependence, all beings depend on others for their happiness. In the same manner, enlightenment depends upon causes and conditions. Sand mandalas take many hours to complete due to the large amount of work involved in laying down the sand grains in such intricate detail. This meditation facilitates chakra healing, resonating through the creation as monks work together, sand painting one section at a time. Beginning at the center and working outwards, a two-dimensional representation of what is supposed to be a three-dimensional environment. Mandalas contain both geometric and organic forms. They also can contain recognizable images that carry meaning for the person who is creating it. Sand mandalas are one of the most magnificent types of mandala construction, associated with the most profound and elaborate Buddhist ceremonies in Tibet. Every color, dot, and line in the mandala represents an essential part of the deity in Buddhist philosophy. Each component must be placed in exactly the same place every time the mandala is constructed. Although sand mandalas are made on a flat surface, they are to the devotee a three-dimensional palace representing the mind of the Buddha.
There are many different kinds of mandalas in Tibetan spiritual traditions. This particular mandala is Compassion Buddha, or Lokiteshvara in Sanskrit and Shinrezi in Tibetan. So this Buddha represents the boundless compassion, right? So the purpose of creating this mandala is for healing, harmony, and purification in this area and all over the world.
The person contemplating the mandala enters into it as they would a building, an enclosure. In general, the mandala shows a method of bringing peace and harmony to our world through genuine practice of the mind of great compassion, the wisdom of emptiness, and the meditations of the mandala with their respective deities. We can generate the respective qualities and bring about positive changes in this world. For a practitioner who meditates on the Tantra of compassion, one would familiarize oneself with every detail of the mandala and the deities within it, engaging in repeated exercises based upon visualizing beings and pure environment, which symbolize one's own being and environment in a purified, sublime form. Such exercises carried out within the basic Buddhist framework of developing wisdom and compassion bring about a profound transformation into enlightenment. Mandalas are used to reconsecrate the earth and heal its inhabitants with outer, inner, and secret meanings. Outer level represents world in its divine form. Inner level represents a map by which the ordinary mind is transformed into enlightened mind. Secret level depicts the perfect balance of the energies of the body and clear light dimension of the mind. There are various forms of mandalas with distinct concepts and different purposes. The individual representations range from the cosmic mandalas, which transmit the ancient knowledge of the universe, and the world systems, which represents a high point among mandalas dedicated to meditation, to the mandalas of the medicine Buddha, which demonstrates how the Buddha power radiates in all directions, portraying the healing power. The creation of a mandala involves a selected group of monks, together representing the full range of skills and talents necessary in bringing spiritual healing. Drepung Losling monks, a group of multi-talented, dedicated artists, experts in the form of multiphonic chanting, masters in the art of sand painting, talented in playing traditional Tibetan musical instruments. The artists from Drepung Losling Monastery are ordained monastics who take time off their lifelong devotion to contemplation and study and consider it an honor to represent their cultural traditions, hoping to make a small contribution toward world peace and a greater awareness of the Tibetan fragile political predicament.
Tibet is a small country. It is an independent country before 1959. We have for our own national anthem, we have our own language, we have our own traditional So everything is separate from Chinese, traditions and Chinese language, and the situation is getting bad to worse. We don't have meaningful human rights in Tibet. Tibet is very rich in natural resources, such as gold, silver, iron. It is also rich in water. But unfortunately, the Chinese government, they blocked the river for their own benefits. They killed more than 1 million of Tibetan people, and they destroyed more than 6,000 of monasteries and nunneries. Nowadays, the people don't have rights to practice Dharma and to learn our own, the traditional culture, right? And even some people, many people cannot keep the portrait of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama is the spiritual leader of Tibet, and 99% of Tibetans followed him, because we believe that he is the manifestation of compassion Buddha.
Avalokiteshvara, the Mandala of Compassion. Such a geometric structure can be seen as a world of existence based on the 5 Buddhas, representing the transformation of the 5 major delusions into the 5 wisdoms, with the development of compassion as the main focus. The central flower, Amitabha, transforms passion into compassion. The Vajra transforms ignorance and stupidity into the wisdom of the all-pervading awareness. The flaming jewel transforms pride into modesty. The Dharma wheel transforms anger into peace. The sword transforms jealousy into the all-accomplishing wisdom of compersion. The 4 guardians represented by their symbols sit at their gate. The 3 outer rings, fire, vajras, and petals, protect the inner sanctuary, the palace of the Buddhas. The creation of this mandala is intended to generate boundless compassion for all beings, bringing peace and harmony to this world. Mandalas are immensely complex symbolic structures with many layers of meaning and beauty. The construction of the aesthetically pleasing mandala is the result of long and disciplined effort, but it is, nonetheless, a temporary work. When the monks are finished, there is a dissolution ceremony. The deity of compassion is released by the dismantling of the mandala. the monks destroy the mandala. Nothing is permanent. All things are in a flux. Beautiful but ephemeral, moving but temporary. All things are called to balance and enlighten. The monks sweep up the sand, every last grain, and give handfuls of the sand away to those participating in the closing ceremony as a final memory. The sand is cast into a body of water, emphasizing and highlighting the impermanence of all things, the importance of non-attachment. When the sand enters the water, kindness and compassion of the deity are disseminated into this world in benefit of all beings.